Go.
Welcome to Off the Glass and on the Record in our first installment. And tonight I have with me two Bowie State graduates. To my right I have Kenneth Tappan, who's done tremendous work with me. And he got a story of his own to tell with me later on. And to my far left I have Miss Lisa Jean, college coach, basketball aficionado, and a lover of the sport. We're here for my guy, my man, one of my first basketball sons, Jay Gavin, brand new McNamara head coach, and actually my first kid that I trained. So Jay, real quick before we get into some other stuff, how you feel about being the first guest?
It's exciting, to say the least. Like, to be able to look back at, 20 plus years now when we sitting here just, ready to chop it up on a podcast, like, that's exciting.
Lisa, if you can go ahead and put out a disclaimer out here what our podcast is all about.
Really just, we just talking some truth, talking some stories.
Real stories.
Real stories,
True
the truth. Just being authentic, your authentic self as much as possible and having fun with it, really.
Well, just to speak on myself a little bit, I've been in this business for 30 years and I've had the pleasure of having so many great players like Kevin Durant, Markelle Fultz, Marcus Cousins, to name a few, as well as being a part of Iverson Classic. I've written articles for Better Basketball. And it's an opportunity for me as an older guy to share with the community all the real stories that they don't get. So starting off, Jay, what did you think about me the first time you met me? The first time your dad brought you to work? Tell me truthfully, what was on your mind?
I mean, so shout out White Chocolate.
Yes.
Because I was at Bowie State. Well, it wasn't Bowie State's camp, but it was a camp being held at Bowie State that my dad would always
Shout out to Mike Gavin, great man.
would always work. So my dad had asked Chocolate like how to do something, like a move, or how to get around something. It was like when a defender has their arm out touching, like how do you get past this? So White Chocolate answers, well, no, I got the perfect guy for you. I was working out in a little gym. You had on some swim trunks.
Yes.
Like that
was my swag back then.
Swag back in the day. You had on some swim
really
trunks.
work out in anything.
Yes.
And
Jeans,
immediately
too.
as soon as Chocolate asked you the question, me and my dad was right there. I can remember it like it was yesterday, and I still remember it to this day, like just ripped right underneath the arm. And I was like, oh, it piqued my interest. And for me as a young kid, like, I wanted to get better. So I was kind of like, oh, my dad said this, and I thought Chocolate was one of the best basketball players I had ever seen in my eyes. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go with it. And then as I stood on the side and did ball handling for an hour for some days, 4 days, I didn't realize exactly what I got myself into, but it definitely helped shape me to become the basketball player and even trainer and coach that I'm fortunate enough to be today.
Definitely remember my first time working out with you too. I kind of think I just walked up on you and wanted to shoot. Learning from Marcus that you trained him, and then seeing like how much better he was getting, and then I got the similar type of thing. Like I'm doing ball handling, all the drills you don't want to do. I don't think I shot a basketball for the first 2 or 3 times we worked out.
What about you, Lisa?
My first time, it was this summer going into my freshman year, and I came up there. You had Marcus Thornton was up there, T was up there, Allison was up there, and I think the first drill was just a full core ball handling drill. And died the first time, just died. But after that, it was great work though. It's great work. That was my first time.
Why do you always used to try to make people throw up their first workout though? Like, what was the logic behind that? Like, why you like? Because I'm not coming back if I throw up the first workout. Like, why was you trying to make people do that?
Well, I wanted like-minded people. I wanted people who wanted to do the things that I wanted to do. And shout out to Jay, because him and his dad, after I got him, the next week we actually had an impromptu camp. It was like 6 kids, Marcus, and they, needless to say, all those other kids did not come back after that 1 week. But his dad basically started a camp, and they didn't even have the court. So they had to get on the court when the pros didn't play. That was kind of the setup. Yeah, funny story about Jay. So him and his dad are entrepreneurs. And Jay was selling Gatorades.
Yeah.
And Jay was serious about his paper. And you know how guys that got money, they kind of slow to pay for whatever reason. So I guess Jay got so aggressive in trying to get his money that they start coming complaining like, man, Key, Coach, what's up with your little man?
Don't take the merchandise if you're not paying. That's stealing.
Guess what? It served you well. It served you well in this business. But tell us the process of going last year, going from, you didn't have any clue, you were the assistant, that's all you knew, and then one day you get a call that, you know, you basically going to be the interim coach. Like, what was that like? Because, you know, McNamara WCAC, known as the best conference in the country, although you've done everything in basketball, but it's different when you're sitting in that first seat. So kind of take us through how you felt, what was your thought? And we had a conversation as well, but just how you felt.
I mean, nervous, to say the least. Excited though, right? Like, I tell anybody this, like, if I wasn't coaching at McNamara, I wouldn't be coaching. Like, what that school has done for me in my maturation process in my teenage years, like, they were there for me. Like, when my mom passed away when I was in college, like, they spoke at the funeral, helped with the funeral costs. Like, they've been there. Like, it truly is family, right? Like, everybody preaches family, but I really got to experience family. Like, beefing with my mom in high school, and then getting to go to school and talk to, at that time, I want to say my assistant principal, who was like a mom away from home, right? So to get the opportunity to go back and now coach, and that's not even to mention what Coach Giffine had been to me and as a mentor on the basketball side, being as though I was coaching with the person who coached me. So, but being able to get the opportunity to kind of do it the way I wanted to do it, right? Like, I love Coach Giffine, respect everything he's done. He's all-time winningest coach in McNamara history. Like, big shout out to him. Now currently still serving as the athletic director. But to be able to kind of put my own vision and implement some of the things that I want to do, sit in that first chair, like, it was exciting. But definitely it was some nerves behind it.
How hard is that to go from, like, you know, growing up playing under Coach Giffine, coaching with them, but then, you know, like, on a drop of a hat, it's like, okay, you got the keys. Like, how hard is that to kind of shift the culture, or, you know, implement your style of coaching with kids that are used to being coached a certain way? Even though you've been the assistant, it's different once you're the head coach. So, like, how difficult is that to kind of steer the ship in the direction you want it to go?
So, funny story before I get to that, right? Like, when you the assistant, you know, you say you help drive the bus or something like that, all the players want to ride with you because you the assistant.
You a little more cool.
We went to a team camp this past weekend, and 2 kids only rode the bus with me. Everybody else, they were jam-packed on the other bus.
Yeah.
With one assistant.
Like you already ain't been cool. Like, I was just cool. Like, how
you're doing a good job.
I don't be cool friend anymore.
You're doing a good job. You know that you're doing a good job.
But
respect, man.
But to answer the question, Tap, like, it's taking over in December when we were 0-5, splintering really like as a team. It was rough, right? And shout out to Angelo Hernandez and Miles Gillette and Chris Braswell and Jamal Rich that really helped, keep everything together, right? Like I can't sit here and take full credit and say I had all the ideas or anything like that. Like it's just not who I am and my character. But we were able to change some things, but not do a complete 180 because it just would have been
Too much.
Yeah. Right? Like at that time. So now I'm in my first off season to where now it's like I can kind of be like,
the changes
this
you
is
want.
what we're doing. Like, and you have time to make a decision
Whether
if
you wanna do it or
wanna
not.
do this, or if you do want to do this, right? So, taking over, it was really like trying to figure out how do I not go crazy because I don't like that, but still win some games, get the kids to mature a little bit, get them to buy into what we're doing. And ironically, when we had end of the season meetings, like when we talked about, asked kids about their experience, right? Like, because I feel like high school should be an experience, whether you play a lot or you play a little bit. Like you should enjoy
Being
the
a part of it.
athletic experience of being a part of a team
Yeah.
and a brotherhood. Like, and that's something that I really want to make sure I'm instilling as the head coach.
No, that should be one of your mantras. We are our experiences.
Yeah, like it is. I think it's important, right? Like my teammates from high school were in my wedding, right? Mm-hmm. So like we can not talk for weeks and then talk, and it's like we talked every day.
Yeah.
So I think even you, Tab, like you and Marcus were high school teammates. Y'all are still friends and talk all the time to this day, right? So like being able to have that brotherhood is something that I've really tried to instill when taking over and transitioning, right? Like we immediately went to City of Palms, which is arguably the best high school tournament in the country. And I had an hour practice and then a 2-hour practice, and then we played probably a top 30 team in the country. Yeah. And we ran into a buzzsaw. Like let's not even watch the game film, burn the tape buzzsaw. Right? So just going through it, I learned a lot. Right? And then even having to interview for the job
again.
Because I mean, you did a great job, especially where y'all were when you started or got the program. Again, like you said, splintering. It's tough when you're losing, right? Like winning cures all things.
I think that was just a political.
No, but I mean, shout out McNamara though, right? Because they're big in process, right? And ultimately, my president was transparent about it. Like he believes in process. He wants to make sure that he has the right guy, and I can appreciate that because going through the process, it made me look at and think about things that I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to think about had I just been transitioning to doing the job.
Right, so now appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, I got to really, for one, feel like I earned it.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And then for two, like really lay out vision and what I wanted to look like really put pen to paper, right? Of like, man, no.
Well, shit, you was trying to get the job for how many years?
I mean, for sure. Trying to get the job is rather that makes sense. I was trying to pull one under, but I really just I never knew if I was gonna be the coach, right? Like this was the third time. Like not everybody knows this was the third time that I
tried to get the job.
Like the first time when Coach Keith Lana stepped down, I thought I was going to be the guy, right? But thankfully, like I wasn't, because looking back on it, it just wasn't the right time. Like maybe I wasn't mature enough, whatever, wasn't seasoned enough. It just wasn't the right time. And then COVID, I was kind of like, I want to do it, but it's COVID. Like it's
That's a challenge.
Like that's a whole nother challenge, right? Like, so I was excited when Coach Kevon got the job back, and of course I knew that he was going to ask me to come back and be a part of the staff. So, that challenge in its own, like, but still coming back home to McNamara, right? Like, I always feel like that's home. So, and then now, this time, it was like, all right, I'm in the room, and then it's like, all right, now I got to interview.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, like, the process is going quick. Like, they want to have a coach in this time. I'm like, dang, like, what am I going to do? And shout out to my village, right? Like, my wife, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, like, my wife's friends, like, they really held me down in terms of, like, trying to prepare me for
Having to go in
the
there.
interview from the corporate America side.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I never thought about that. Oh, that's good. Oh, man, I should think about that. So it just was like, man, they were incredible throughout the whole entire process.
Funny story. Early in our relationship, I had taught Jay the footwork, Jay. And really, at that time, that was all he would say this. That's all I really got. So,
And I couldn't do it when you first taught it
To this day, though. Like,
and so he did it, and I believe the AD.
No. So
Uh-oh.
man, we gonna call names. So
Yeah,
this is like
yeah,
family.
yeah.
George McCullough was a coach at McNamara. I had known him since I was probably 6 years old from the camp at Bowie State. He used to work it. And we playing one-on-one. And I got so free on the move.
Yeah.
He called travel. And at this point, like when you younger, like at least
And
when I
tell
grew
the whole
up,
story, even with Tony. Oh, this was funny.
Travel.
when I grew up, like you listened to adults because they was adults,
Right.
right? Wasn't all this back talk. You gotta
Opinion
why
and
should I
everything.
respect you? Or like it wasn't all that. Like my parents raised me to, like
respect your elders.
yeah, like straight like that. Like you a coach, you tell me to run around the building. All right, how many times? Like, yeah, how much time we got? So I do the move. And I'm like, nah, man, my trainer told me this, blah, blah, blah. I'm hot. Cause I'm like, man, if I can't do this, like, man, I don't got it. Man, like, what, well, yeah, like, what am I going to do? So then, Coach Keefline, who was coaching at the time, and again, he probably knew that it wasn't a travel, but he had to go with the adult. Like, you can't, you can't go with the kid and be like, nah, that's not a travel. And it's like, man, like this is crazy. So he comes in, he asks him, he's like, nah, man, that's a travel. And I want to say either I was winning the game or I was close to winning the game, and I end up losing the game.
Because they take the move away.
So now I'm down even angrier.
I don't want to lose.
So I immediately get on the phone like, man, Coach Keith, like, man, they said it was a travel. And he like, Jay, just like Jay,
Making that laugh.
it's not a travel, dog. Like, it's not a travel. So then he like, you know what, Jay? Go to the referee. The next game y'all playing, ask. And again, as a kid, like, once I asked the referee and the referee told me it wasn't a travel, I wasn't going to go back to Coach Keefline or to Coach McCullough and be like, man, y'all was lying.
Right.
Just had to go with it. And now when I do it, and it helped us in the game, I know there's a travel then, and it's funny, a few years later, I'm like, Coach Keefline, you teaching what you told me was a travel years ago. But again, it's funny just to see the growth. Because a lot of people weren't doing that, right?
But,
whereas now it's, as the kids would say, it's one of the most spam moves ever. But
You top 3.
Using that.
I don't know what you,
KD for sure.
KD, and my first person that did it was Steve Francis. He don't get credit, but he was spectacular. But you might be one or two in getting that move off for sure.
I mean, it's a great setup. Like, if you don't bite, drive the ball.
To the basket, yo.
If you bite,
I'm right in your
I'm
face.
shooting.
Amazing.
If you reach, I'm changing directions and I'm going to the basket.
Talk a little bit about how, like, because you trained obviously before becoming a head coach, and I think that just like the footwork, Jay, there's probably many a moves that both of you have taught that, like, unless you that guy or you know when to use it, you probably shouldn't just be spamming the move in the game or in a live setting. So talk about the transition from training kids to giving them skills to training their mind and like giving them the understanding of how and when to use the moves and like how to use it like in a game setting.
So ideally, it's ironic that kids, not a lot of kids ask like, Coach, why am I doing this? Like they're
You never.
it's rare that they just be like, well, when can I do this?
Yeah.
Well, how can I do this? So I've kind of tried to put myself in position now when I train. It's like this is the situation.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and build 3 counters or, 3 counters off of this situation. Whether it's, all right, we're going DHO or we're going to come off this pin down.
Now, what's DHO now for those that don't know?
Dribble handoff.
Okay, just
Dribble handoff.
putting that out there.
Or we're going to come off this pin down or we're going to work off floppy action, which is just a single double screen. Like, now, like, okay, I can do this. I can catch and shoot. I can jab shot. I can curl fade. I can curl one dribble step back. Like, now we're working the same skills, but we're in a more game like situation because kids are so skilled nowadays without being able to apply to the game. And like in our training, like we play a lot, right? We 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, like so.
Games,
Now we're trying to see like, all right. Yeah, we quote unquote worked on your bag. 1 dribble pull up, 2 dribble pull
Simple
up,
stuff.
face over. You know what I mean? Some step ins, but like I'm a believer in the workout should be 85-90% of what you're gonna do most of, and the 10% is probably just to keep
situational.
you
Just in case.
Like
so you keep coming back.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, right? Because kids would be like just watching kids this weekend. Like I watched my own team and went back and watched film, and I'm like, yeah, like you can get that same shot with 4 more passes, and probably with 7 seconds left on the shot clock versus 18 seconds left on the shot clock, right? And kids don't know like the value of like those swings of just your teammate touching the basketball. Like they feel more involved and engaged in the game, right? Yeah. So now they liable to run back on defense a little bit harder, even though you shot the 1 dribble.
At least I touched it.
At least
3-4 minutes, you don't even touch it.
So it's like I think that trying to get kids to understand that, right? Like those things are valuable. Majority of stuff that people are drilling, like a lot of times, it's end of the shot clock stuff, or I done made 4 in a row stuff. Like,
and everybody can't be that kind of guy. Like it's not. It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
So, Lisa.
Yeah, so just to piggyback now, you talk about the off season. Now you get a full off season with your guys, and majority of them are coming back, right? What's the message to them, going into this off season or being in the off season and then the fall and going into your first full year as a head coach? What's the message to the guys on, trying to win that WCAC
so,
chip?
I started this last year, and John Wooden, legendary UCLA, had a phrase that I learned when I went on a visit with one of my girls. Shout out Madison Scott to UCLA, and it was surrender the outcome. And I was like, dang, like that's a good joint, like because it solely focuses on being process driven, right? Like in this society where we're such an instant gratification society, like kids are, it's microwave. It's a quick fix drill for this. It's a quick fix drill for that. And it's like, nah, like you kind of got to rep it out to like, okay, yeah, maybe it's a fix in terms of you tweak the shot, or you tweak the footwork, but in order for it to become a muscle memory, you got to keep working on it, right? But so for my kids, I'm like, let's just keep building, right? Like let's make sure we're taking advantage of it, right? And I've told anybody, even like the coaches that I'm bringing on staff, like I desire McNamara's a college preparatory.
Who are those coaches?
So Tavon Blackman is the head coach of my JV. Gonzaga alum. Corey Henson, shout out Corey, CMO trainer, is gonna be head of player development. Another strong trainer. Chris Braswell, shout out Braz.
Yeah, your one-on-one partner.
Yeah, he's coming back. Jamal Rich, who's also an alum of McNamara, is gonna be doing some behind the scenes, just helping us with fundraising and really just how do we further the program outside of just the basketball stuff, right? And then we're probably still looking for 1 or 2 more people just to come and join and be a part of something that we think can be special, right? So I'm excited.
Speaking to special, the Samuels kid, having a kid is top 10, and McNamara hasn't had a lot of kids like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's the.
I think he's the only top 10
with Taiwan.
kid. Oh,
but he left. Mm-hmm. One of my kids, shout out Taiwan Lawson. How is it different from being assistant to the head, and now that he's reached this point, how do you coach him? How you go about, because so much now of coaching is not it's managing the personality.
It's mental warfare.
Yes.
Like that's really all it is, right? With any kid, not just him. Like it's how do you keep them mentally engaged and still demand what it is that you want for them, right? Like Bugs is a great kid, right? Like he's a phenomenal kid. Like he wants to win. He wants to maximize his potential. I don't even think he all the way knows what that is, because like he has something, right? Like he definitely has something to where he could, be planning them 3 letters and change his family, change his family's life, right? So with him, it's just about continuing to build our relationship. Like I've been around him since he was 9 years old, so just continue to build a relationship. But also, they say the people that tell you the truth are the people that love you. You know what I mean? The people that hold you accountable the most are the people that care about you the most. So it's not always going to be pretty, but I think one of the things about coaching is you have to figure out how to get your message across in a way that the kid is going to receive it. So, you can be blunt, but if that bluntness just kills the kid's confidence, then what are we doing, right? Like, and they may, and I understand the thought process of, well, that's what they're gonna do in college. So I'm like, all right, well, every college coach ain't like that. Right. Like, you gotta find the person, the college coach, and the staff that fits each individual kid. Yeah. So, like at McNamara, right? Like, I feel like I'm young. I'm a player's coach. Like, you're gonna have.
Hold on. Okay. I love you to death.
With that one?
Let me say something nice first about you. A big part of me training in these relationships is my relationships with everybody, and I'm proud of the man. Forget the past, but the man you've become, and I hope that none of my bad habits, because damn it, I had some, and y'all witnessed some, but I'm proud of you. Now, back to what we were speaking on. I'm not going to say you're a player's coach because you're very stringent about what you're about. And I will say that, and I know you will find that wiggle room to, kind of be in the middle. Get what you want, but not too much, because these kids are very different. Even what we doing. And shout out what we doing, Mr. Gavin.
So, for the first time, probably something that should have been done a long time ago, we in the gym training, right? Like, you get the best of both worlds. You get I.E. the guru, and then you get myself as well. Like, we in the gym, we working 4 or 5 days out the week, all ages, all skill levels, like just trying to get kids better and give them knowledge that he has and that I have. And, there are some things that I may bring as a high school coach that he may not be thinking about, that I can go to him and be like, man, well, you got to think about this too when you're training. And he'll come to me, it's like, man, well, you got to think about this when you're coaching. And it's like, it's great to be able to have such a unique balance of knowledge to be able to give these kids.
No, I'm thankful. It's a full circle moment for me. Going all the way back to us being in the gym. Even me making you raise your shot. Another funny story. And how you and your dad, I was public enemy number 1 because you weren't making shots.
Could not make a wish.
But the beauty of it is you went through that process, and so you know what it is. And I think that's huge that you can tell, look, y'all struggling, I struggle.
Yeah.
This is a part of it.
That part right there. It's all a part of, like, everybody, even coaching this year, right? And I said this, like, you know, you can go out. We have a really talented team, right? Like, and I'm trying to build a culture that I desire, right? Like, that I can stand on. And we can go out and win 25 games, and the culture that I desire still may not be all the way ingrained, right? Like, it takes time, right? It takes time. And so I'm just excited about the opportunity to build that.
What's the biggest challenge in getting guys? And I think the players are one thing, but I think especially with grassroots sports now, like, what's the challenge in getting, you know, like, the outside people to buy into what you're doing, right? Because I'm sure with the time that you spend as the interim coach with losing and then trying to change the culture, like, you probably felt a lot of pressure from parents, you know, maybe like admin in a school, and then, you know, these kids, they got 2 or 3 or 4, how many other people in their ear, so, like, there's probably that pressure from AAU side or whatever the case may be.
Well,
like,
you know,
how do you manage that?
Shout out to my wife. Like, that's really how I manage it, right? Like, I, you know, bounce things off her, and then I'm blessed enough to have a staff to where I can call them and be like, maybe I might vent to them and be like, I know I can't say this, but this is what I'm really thinking.
Yeah.
And you know, it's good to have feedback that you're able to have to ultimately help put yourself and your program in position to be successful. Nobody likes losing, right? But everybody it's funny to say that because everybody likes the opportunity that comes with losing, right? So they're like, oh, well, they losing over there, so it got to be an opportunity for me to play.
Right.
So on the flip side of that, I want to build the program to where it's sustainable and we're winning and, you know, known for winning and putting players in college and, you know, having a quote unquote brotherhood and really a family style of a culture.
Yeah.
But you got to get the right kids. And like we were talking about this on the trip, it's like some colleges will only recruit kids that they know are going to fit their program, right? So it's like when I'm going to games now, like I'm looking at how the parents are acting.
Yeah.
Like
that part.
It's a big
like,
part.
I'm looking at that because it is so undervalued, the car ride home.
Oh, no, they're getting killed.
Man,
they are
so
getting killed.
This weekend, we're down 20 points in our first game, right? And we have literally everybody's new besides, in terms of that was playing in the game, besides 2 people, our 2 seniors. 3 people, 2 seniors and a junior. Everybody else is new. So it's like we come back, win the game, and I tell the kids that it just dawned on me, like, you know, people are going go out here and say something to y'all about, man, how was y'all this or how was y'all that? And they not even going to say that y'all won. That we won. Right? Like, we found a way, y'all showed some resilience to win a basketball game.
Yeah.
So I told the kids, and I'm like, I'm a big believer in this, like, it's on you all to shut that noise up early.
Yeah.
Because if it gets to one person turns into 2 can turn into 4, the next thing you know, the whole team is in competition with each other in a bad way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so being able to have relationships with all the different AAU programs and ask them straight up, like, man, what you think about this kid and his family? But then still do your own homework of looking like, because your opinion of a kid may be different than mine.
Their relationship
right?
might be different than the one that you end up having, right?
So, like, you know, it's kids that are coming in school right now that, you know, maybe are playing freshman or playing JV to where they may do something on the AAU programs, and I'm like, well, I ain't saying to do that here. Or vice versa, they're doing something good,
Right.
and their coach's like, nah, they don't do that here. But it's a different high school, and AAU is a different game, right? Sure. Like, it's so. I hope that answered the question.
How's it been dealing with the parents, especially, you know, you're such a talented team that you have. How's it been dealing with the parents?
it comes with its challenges, to say the least. But again, I'm heavy on praying about different stuff and trying to have discernment on when to just shut up and when to try to get your point across. Because I think as a coach, sometimes it's like you got to let people vent and let people talk, and sometimes you can revisit the topic later and probably have a more productive conversation than just going back and forth with whoever about whatever.
Right.
Like, so I'm kind of the mind now, and when I first in December, I was not like this. So I'm grateful. I've been telling everybody this. Like, I forget what sermon I was listening to, but everybody prays for something, whether it be strength or grace or discipline, whatever, and it's like. It's not like just magical. God just grants it to you, right? God puts you in position to choose that, to have that become a strength, right? So, discernment is one of the things that I've prayed about, and it's been eye opening to choose peace at a time where I could choose violence, right? Because it just doesn't work. Right, and I'm grateful for the coaching mentors that I have as well, because it's like I'm not crazy about this, and they're like, "Nah, you're not crazy, but you still got to have this conversation, and make sure that this." So I'm grateful for just the relationships that I have, and that I value.
So, what does making McNamara a national power, how do you see that? And a lot of times, especially for McNamara, since y'all haven't done it, right now today, whatever you say, some people will be like, yeah, whatever. But it's only crazy until you do it, right? So what does that look like in your mind?
It's consistency, right? So anybody can be good for a year, 2 years, 3 years, but it's consistency, right? So I had somebody ask me, man, Jay, say this goes well in 10 years, you want to go to college? And I was like, no. I said,
I can answer that. You're not going anywhere.
I'm only coaching because I'm at McNamara. I'm extremely grateful that Coach Keithline gave me opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful that he forced me to coach, not forced me, but suggested that I coach an AAU team, because then I got to really get my first taste of being a head coach.
Yes.
And I had a phenomenal team: Jarris Walker, Cam Whitmore.
What AAU team was that?
Maryland Finest.
Okay.
Shout out Gary Pinckney.
Crossing alum.
I had Jaden Johnson, who I went on to coach at McNamara, Antonio Hamlin. I had
a spectacular team.
I had
Jason Moore too.
Oh my goodness, he was incredible, and his parents, talk about parents, his parents were phenomenal, and that was my first taste of phenomenal parents. I didn't have any bad parents, 6th or 7th grade. I even had one parent that was able to check me in a sense of Coach, you don't really curse at the kids as much as you've been going lately, and I'm I knew that she was coming at it from a place of love, so it was man, you know what, you right, so, now tailoring it back to being at McNamara and being able to kind of do it again, it's how do I put my stamp on Bishop McNamara basketball for 7, 8, 9, 10 years? It doesn't let's be honest, nobody's winning a championship every year.
No,
right?
Not especially
not now.
But it doesn't mean that you the season is not a failure if you don't win a championship, right? You can be there. This last year, Gonzaga was top 5 in the country, and they didn't win a championship. Does that mean their season was a failure and they lost 2 games all year? One of them to us. But one of them was to us. Although they came back and slaughtered us in the playoffs. But, you know, like so that they've had sustained success, right? So talking about like the math and Mike Jones, like they sustained success. So it's like, how do you put that together year in, year out? For one, everybody has to be on the same page, right? Like the athletic department, the school, everybody has to be brought into
A lot of different
athletics.
Parts. Yep, a lot of different parts.
So it's so much more than just, oh, you got a great coach, right? Because, and this is a coaching part that nobody really accepts. Cliff Warren told me this when he was at the University of Maryland. Shout out Cliff Warren.
Good man.
And I walked in, I had went to visit Bino Ransom and Matt Brady, who were also assistants at Maryland at the time. And saw all these papers on the desk, and I'm like, you got all these papers. He's like, Jay, the on-court stuff, that's the easy part. Like, this is all the stuff that
Administrative,
the phone calls and all that stuff. So it's like, I spend so much time on the phone talking to people, like just whether it's tournaments or whether it's parents or whether it's putting out fires or whether
Hold on, let me stop you again. So all those years when y'all used to get on me.
Nah, bro.
Hold on. About not getting back. See, now that you're busy.
But you wasn't a high school coach.
But I was busier than a high school coach.
Bro, you would really look at the phone and turn
you do this
and turn the phone over, like. And I know you by the phone. You just don't answer the phone.
Busy, man. I'm just saying.
It'd be like this.
Really look at your.
I'll call them later.
Yeah, like.
And
really
don't never call them.
Yeah.
Like you now.
I called
you had
paperwork to do.
Sure.
There you go. My paperwork was right here.
Nah.
But it's a lot. Like people think like, you know, the job is just, man, get in between the lines with your shorts and your whistle and shell drill and transition.
You use a whistle?
I do use a whistle.
Wow.
Because it's a lot of yelling that has to go on. So sometimes you just need to whistle your team so that you can get your point across. And everybody knows when a whistle is either means stop what you're doing or you running a sprint or something.
Yeah. So like, what do you think like the difference is in coaching, like from when we were coming up to like now? I feel like, at least with Coach Keyline, I've seen it firsthand. Like I think we've had conversations, I'm coming to games, and I'd be like, Coach, you getting kind of soft, man. Like, cause we'll have practices sometimes, like he don't like what we're doing, or somebody's, off path. Like everybody just run. Like I remember one Friday, we normally just play open gym, like after school workouts or whatever. And I ain't gonna say his name. One of our players, he had a lot to say that day, and coach kicked him out and made all of us run for the entire 2 hours.
Wow.
I like that.
So, but I feel like
everybody's gonna pay for it.
I feel like now we don't really have that kind of approach to coaching it.
I mean, everything is within reason, right? So it's like, I can't say that I'm never going to do something like that. Yeah. I can't say that I am going to do something like that, right? But I think you kind of got to establish standards. You know, like I think when we were coming up, it was more so these are the rules, right? And as
you didn't have any choice,
right? It wasn't like a debate.
You were taught as a kid, like you follow the rules, like you don't break the rules just because. And or else we gonna break this whip across your behind when you get caught, right? So it's like nowadays kids don't always fear rules, like. But if you can get them to buy into a standard, then it's like they feel more comfortable and connected to the goal, right? So I'm more of I want you to live up to this standard versus I want you to abide by this rule. And I think like when I was growing up playing basketball, it was like, man, these are the rules. Don't get me wrong, like there's still rules, but you still want to create a standard of excellence, of doing everything the right way. You know what I mean? Not like, okay, you had a good practice today, but you stunk in the classroom, or you didn't go get treatment and your body's sore. Like
how you do the little things.
Like because I think that the little things are everything in life. Like preparation, like it all matters.
Another time, well, I've been blessed to have a lot of great moments with my clients. But another funny time, but a strong time, is when those coaches ask you who your favorite NBA player, and you said Keith Williams. Like, what? Because it made me, when the coaches called me, I felt like a giant. I'm like, man, you are really doing something big. Like,
Man.
what was the thought process on that?
So look, I'll tell anybody this story, right? I'll never forget, we in the small gym at Bowie State. My dad was late to pick me up. And
you gonna put him out there like that?
Yes, because he was late. That's what my man, he was always late. So it's just me and you in the gym, and we play horse. And I had never, like, I've been working out with you for like 2 weeks, but I never seen you shoot a basketball. Like you might demonstrate, and you
Drop the
just
ball, yeah.
hold your phone. So I'm like, I don't know if you, again, you an adult, so I'm just listening.
Yeah.
So
You hadn't seen no demonstration
yeah,
yet.
like, so we play horse, and you don't miss a shot. And I'm watching, and I'm like, and I'm making some shots, even though, like, I couldn't shoot. Like, I'm making some shots, and I'm like, this nigga's not missing. Like, and it's not even hitting the rim. And he got on a white tee and swim trunks. Like, what is this? Like, who is this? So, you know, it was like just a shock for me. And then even going through and watching, like, when we had a camp at Run and Shoot one time, and like you played we gonna leave names out.
Nah. This way I can gloat. Put
Alright.
the name. He my guy still.
Well, you
daughter can play
played Rodney White 1-on-1. Y'all are
No, the 7 pick and
lunch break. Y'all are drenched in sweat, but I'm watching you get whatever you want to get
Cooking.
on somebody with a 6'9" NBA basketball player. And again, like, the question I was asked was like that I had never seen with my eyes anybody better than you. With my own eyes. Like, it wasn't like I went to, you know, the Chicago Bulls game and saw Michael Jordan up close. Like, with my own eyes, I had never seen anybody do in one-on-one settings what I saw you do. Against whoever. Tall, short, fast, heavy.
Long arms, not long arms.
It didn't matter. So it was just impressive, right? And you know, it still is impressive nowadays for you to be as old as you are, and you still can move and got quick twitch, and you know, no, it's nowhere near as it shouldn't be when you was 35 years old.
No, y'all definitely not going for the cross no more.
It's
like, it's not working. Like
you can't win no
to,
more.
yeah.
You can't win no more.
It is.
That's off cam.
It was truthful. Like, at the end of the day, it was truthful.
And I think people don't, like, I think the same, like you were saying, like, you never seen him play. So
No.
I think now when we tell people that, like, we might just be hanging around the gym and we talk about, like, nah, he really might beat you right now, even though you in blast.
Yes.
Like, he still might win. Or, like, nah, maybe 5-6 years ago we playing 2-on-2. Like, you don't really have a chance.
Yes.
Like, people don't really think that we, like, being for real. But, nah, I agree. Like, I'd probably say the same thing. Like, I've been blessed enough to see a couple other guys, like, up close, like Mike Beasley and things like that. But I don't think there's too many people that's
But it's
better than
legit, Tap, though. Like, when I really think about it, like, I don't know.
No, it's not, bro. It's
And don't
really
get me
not.
wrong, like,
It's not too many people,
I
bro.
don't know,
Like you might have to call like Jordan and them type
like,
niggas out
you know what
there,
I'm
like,
saying?
for real.
Like we played pickup with KD and Beasley.
We've seen everybody.
And you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like, KD is incredible.
Incredible.
Wherever
for sure.
he plays, right? Like, just get whatever he wants to when he wants to. Like, if he misses, you had nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
just
That
miss.
type
You just
stuff,
miss.
Right? But he's 6'10", 6'11". So to see somebody that's similar to my height, like, just be able to get whatever shot they want to, or, you know what I mean? It was really
And not even
impressive.
just get whatever shot. Like, you know, we've always played full court ones, or, you know, we have our days we playing 2-on-2. Like, I know when I transferred to Bowie and we played probably every day for like months on months. Like, I know if I miss a shot in a game, I'm losing. Like, if we're going to 5, he's probably going to make 5 in a row. And there's nothing I really could do other than make every shot and hope he miss one. Like, if I get the ball first, I got to score every time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, ain't too many people better.
Well, the crazy thing about, as y'all both y'all know, I've seen both y'all grow in it, it's like once you don't care if you miss, you become a spectacular offensive player. You know, because when you're young, it's all this pressure, right?
Yeah, make it
I
sure.
miss. What are they saying? Am I gonna come out? Whatever. But you get to be an adult, you're like, man, I don't care. I'm gonna shoot it again. And so even watching you, like yours was incredible. Like I've had some guys make some incredible leaps. Arthur, like where they was really just fair, and then we got in the gym and they believe. I think the greatest thing you did was, especially that football, Jay, you truly believed in it, and you got to a point where you saw me where, you know, I can go to this. I know how to set this up and get to this point. And I think as a whole, that's what basketball is missing. Even at the pro level, like, I hate to say, I hate to be that old guy, but they can't play, man. It's not a lot of really talented players out there anymore. Like, they miss so many layups. And myself, at least, was talking about it. Pro teams can't hold on to the lead because a lot of the guards can't manipulate the game late to make sure we get the right shot.
Just inbounding the ball.
It's crazy. And so I always applaud you and anybody that's coaching because they're actually watching this BS. And so they might come back to you and say, hey, Coach, Dame Lillard did it.
Right.
But you ain't Dame.
Right.
Like, and that's one of the funniest things right there, right? Like when people you practice the stuff that you see on TV, which is cool. There's a place for it. But it ain't right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's almost like everybody want to talk about having a bag, right? Well, I heard an analogy somewhere, I forget where, it's like, if I gotta kill an ant, I don't gotta pull out a shotgun.
Right.
No.
Like it don't like
It
just
don't even make sense.
like
just do it.
So like if I'm just getting ripped through and go get a layup,
Don't need
then
5
I don't have to like I don't have
Step
so
back.
like that part of it, like that processing of I don't have to make the game difficult, right? Like if I run hard and they pass me the ball and I don't have to dribble and I shoot a layup, that's 2 points.
Right.
Like if I'm shot ready and somebody drives and I relocate because my man helped, and I make the shot, that's 3 points.
Yeah.
Like I think everybody wants to score, but they forget like
The simplicity of it.
yeah,
It
like
could be simple. You
it's
don't
only
need-
a couple guys that's gonna have to
Mix.
really get into their bag, and quite frankly, like. The NBA is paying a lot of money for the other guys.
For the role guys.
It's so much more of the other guys. It's so much more of the other guys that are 6'7" to 6'9" or 6'6" to 6'9" that make a 3-point shot,
Play defense.
play great defense,
Yep.
be a good teammate, 120 million.
Rebound the ball.
Like
Simple stuff.
it's so for me, it's like I'm looking at when I look at basketball and I'm like I'm coaching. I'm like. Trying to, and me and Tavon Blackman talked about this weekend, it's like trying to get guys to be better thinkers.
Yeah.
Like not just accepting the thought process of I got to manipulate every shot down the court, but trying to get players to be better thinkers because ultimately you'll be able to play basketball with whoever. Pick up a rec league, a overseas league because you understand spacing, you understand time and score, you understand good shot, bad shot. Like, you understand that it's not just about you.
Yeah.
Like, you understand how to play basketball. I never forget playing. Shout out Bobby Mays. Me, Daryl Monroe, Allison, and Tony Dobbins, and I forget who our fifth was, are all on the same team.
Assistant coach, Boston Celtics.
And we playing pickup at Bowie State, and Bowie State pickup used to be loaded in the summertime. And literally all we did was throw the ball to Daryl Monroe and play high splits and low shots.
Let him figure it out. He like
And
Jokic for real.
Yeah.
Bobby made. We had won maybe like 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row. And again, it's packed, so if you lose, you wait a
Shit.
couple games.
Party done.
So Bobby Mays said to DeMar Johnson, I'll never forget, man, hey DJ, watch out, man, they running plays. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world because it was legit in our mind, like we was just playing basketball, right? Like, and we always wanted our same team because we knew we wanted to play a certain type of brand of basketball that everybody may not have wanted to play because it's pickup. So in pickup, people trying to get they trying to see if they work their bag, and like then you lose. And now I came for cardio, I came to get sweaty, and my t-shirt is dry because I'm waiting 4 games.
So real quick, Jay, where can everybody reach you?
What's your
social?
Social. So shout out McNamara at @BMacMensHoops on Instagram. Instagram at Jay Gavin 1, training page at Trust Your Grind. Yeah, man, give us a follow. We really got some big things in store. I'm excited for what the season is gonna shape up to be. Like we're getting some calls about some high level tournaments, some big games. So, you know, we're really excited about it.
Anything you got?
Oh, we all good.
Yeah, make sure y'all check him out. Check the team out this season.
What's our handle?
Off the Glass on the Record on podcast on IG.
Off the Glass on the Record podcast on IG. Man, I appreciate y'all having me, man. This was a blast. Like
this is beautiful.
It's nothing like chopping it up with people that you care about, you know, really that you've had life experiences with, that you consider family. So.
And we're going to keep on bringing y'all episodes just like this every Monday at 7 p.m. I thank y'all for having us.
And we out.